Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 8 Imperial Japanese Navy HSF Harekaze. This is a premium destroyer that I am very fond of. I am increasingly playing it in a style very similar to the way that I play my Shimakaze. You can see how I feel about the radar on the other team. No surprise, our Yugumo feels the same way. Matchmaking, well, decent. Really not bad. There's no CV, that's a good start. In terms of DD threats, well, Harugumo, that's a fantastic gunboat. Torpedoes hit like a Mack truck. If I get hit by one, well, that's it for me, more than likely. Same is true for both of the Yugumo. Now, the Oland, it's a good destroyer. I mean, I enjoy playing the destroyer, but it's less of a threat. The torpedoes there do much less damage. I could actually survive taking one of those torpedoes, I think, depending upon whether I've taken other damage. To Smolensk, that's always kind of nasty to have to contend with, but you know, they have to play fairly cautiously because at least as long as Deadeye's in the game, you know, a battleship player can even just blind fire their smoke and to devastating effect. So I'm going to push out on this side. I'm using my radio location skill to get some idea of where the presumably opposing destroyer is in this location. And you can see that, you know, where it says located. Well, he or someone else on this side, on the enemy team, has the same skill and is probably guessing at where I'm located. There he is. Now, Yugumo's guns hit very hard, but they take a while to reload. Angling up here, trying to avoid taking too much damage. Now I take, a little over 1,800, 1,900 damage. But did 5,500 to the Yugumo, and I call that a good trade. It also answers the question of whether the Yugumo is running smoke or torpedo reload boost. I don't see any radar cruisers on this side, and almost certainly if there were one over here, that ship would have opened fire on me as soon as it became visible. Now you can see the Cleveland and the Missouri are both north of the Charlie Cap. That makes things very, very tough for Colbert. He's not even, I think wisely, not even trying to contest the cap. He's probably just running and gunning. You can see the enemy Hollande is pushed forward, but now he's radared by our Petro. Meanwhile, I'm hunting the Yugumo. I'm just going to try and get him spotted. One of our Petros does take out an enemy Smolensk. I'm going to try and use the Yugumo smoke here. He smoked not long after me. You can see the timer on my smoke is down to 13 seconds, so his won't be around very much longer and is already starting to dissipate. Can I get torpedoes on Alabama? I'm a little concerned that if I continue to push forward at this range, Yoshino could really thrash me. So I'm just going to sit here for a second, see whether or not Yugumo will come back to me. I don't have smoke for 45 more seconds, and I do not want to get caught out here. Yoshino is actually heading my way, so I have to be really careful here. He's still heading south. I'm keeping an eye on that little green dot above his ship. It looks like he may be slowing down, but he is still heading this way. I'm going to put torpedoes in the water. You see a flickering yellow now. That means he is definitely slowing. He may be intending to come to a stop there. There's the Yugumo. Got smoke up in 4 seconds. Oh, that was a terrible shot. I could blame dispersion, but no, it was just a bad shot. But I'm starting to make up for that now. He's fired, and Des Moines is going to keep him lit. So he's used his second smoke. Another decent trade. I lost a little bit of HP there, but did almost another 5,000 damage to him. And he is much more banged up than me. I know I've had some help from Des Moines. I don't think Yoshino put any shells on me. Our Thunderer takes out the enemy Alabama. They are down 2 ships. We do not. Well, we don't have a ship gone yet, but Colbert is close. I'm just here trying to spot torps, but now I can use the Yugumo smoke against him because he's lit up by radar from our Des Moines. I can just sit here behind his smoke. And I'm not having any luck at all with these shots. That's alright. So we've got Yugumo there and Yoshino. That's really it. And they're both kind of in the same line. Now I'm expecting Yugumo to come to my right to try to get an angle and to stay away from Des Moines, but we'll see. See what my radio location skill gives me here. If it moves to the right, then I know that I guessed correctly by heading this way. Now you can see Izumo, north of Charlie, is heading away. There's a Thunderer up there somewhere, and Hollande is there. Now he may have given up on trying to get Charlie with that Petro parked just south of the cap. And there's the Thunderer, and you can see the radio location skill is telling me, yep, the Yugumo came this way. And there he is, and this should do it for him. And because of the range that I'm at, I'm going to go dark immediately once he's gone. That's one of the things I looked at there, was I'm just outside of gun range of really basically everything. So unless the Hollande had moved closer, the second the Yugumo was sunk, I went invisible. And now I'm going to try and get torpedoes on something. Now I'm guessing Hollande is going to be heading this way. He's probably tired of trying to get Bravo only to get radared. You can see he's in there right now. Now he may end up getting the cap. Put some torpedoes out here on Izumo. He may end up getting the cap. If he does, well, you know, good for him. That's no easy task in a destroyer that doesn't have smoke against Petropavlovsk. But whether he does or not, I expect he's probably going to be coming this way. Looks like Izumo is trying to focus on getting the Petro out of there. Enemy Missouri takes out our Yugumo. And I do manage to finish off the Izumo, although he didn't have much in the way of hit points at all at that point. So I've managed to push forward here and be reasonably effective by keeping everybody back. But I can't get my team to follow me in. I'm trying to get that Minnesota to move, and he's just sitting there. He may be moving at 1/4 speed. So we got a Des Moines back there. I can kind of understand why he's trying to not get blapped by the Thunderer. But the Minnesota sitting back there, that's just... well, it's disappointing. I mean, I know those guns are decent, and I know that they still hit hard even at range, but if you were to move up, it would create a lot more threat, and it would create a lot more crossfire opportunity. Where he's at right now, it's going to be limited. Now, I've debated and debated here about whether I would throw torpedoes. Missouri takes out our Mogami, and this game's, well, it's a little closer. We've got a little bit of a cap advantage, but even that's gone now, and both teams have lost 5 ships. Yoshino's been doing a really good job of using the throttle to make landing torpedoes really tough. So I'm just, yeah, he's definitely continuing that. Our Petro finishes off the enemy Missouri, gives us a 1-ship advantage. But I'm maintaining vision. Now you can see our Izumo, he's turned and run south now. Our Minnesota, what is he, 1 square farther north, just barely. I haven't quite given up hope that I can convince them to come north, but I think I'm going to work on banging up this Thunderer and getting him to fall back. Sinking him outright would be the best, but even if I can just make him run, I'm going to call that a win. Now, I can see that the Alpha Cap is starting to turn red, so Alon finally did come this way. I don't want to get spotted, so I'm going to make use of this island. I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to keep vision on Thunderer and on Yoshino, and avoid getting spotted by Alon. I'm definitely going to land some torpedoes on the Thunderer. It's just a question of whether I'll land enough to sink him. I'm going to back up a little bit here and change my angle so I have somewhere to run. Put 5 torpedoes on Thunderer, but that's not enough because, you know, Thunder. Now my hope is that Alon has not been paying attention, is not aware that his Thunderer just lost most of his hit points. Yugumo goes down. And I'm hoping I can catch the Alon as he tries to get out of that cap. You can see the Minnesota still sitting way back there with the Zumo. And this game is looking pretty good, but it's far from over. Right now, the Thunderer on the enemy team is able to pummel our Thunderer and Des Moines as they push through Charlie. And it's time for me to move in here and see if I can find that Alon. In a gunfight, although Alon is decent, it's not going to really have much of a chance against this ship. He's going to be lit because he's been using his guns. So I can smoke up here. Presumably his torpedoes have already been sent toward the battleships that finally did come north. And that leaves just the Yoshino. Thunderer has crossed. He's on the 6th line. Rather than move closer to Yoshino, I think I'm just going to get into this cap. Finish off the Cleveland. And this game looks pretty firmly in the bag. Now our Thunderer is probably going to go down here. It's just a question of whether their Thunderer or Yoshino is going to get him. But they're down to 3 ships and we still have 7. They're down to 2 ships. Now, our Thunderer is definitely going to get sunk here, but this game's all over but the shouting. The Harekaze is a really fun ship to play. One of the things that, as their Thunderer finishes off our Des Moines, one of the things that it took me a while to realize is that as good as these guns are, the lack of HP on this ship, even if you're taking the commander skill that gives you a little bit more, makes it really, really difficult to take a gunfight. Because you can lose so much HP that you put yourself in a situation where even if you are still alive and in the game, you have so few hit points that somebody that blind fires your smoke or shoots at you from long range. Basically, you can become a one-shot kill very quickly in this game when you only have 16,000 hit points to begin with. So I've played a little bit more, let's just say cautiously, as their Thunderer goes down, and Yoshino is, well, he's not long for this world. And as a result, I've had a lot more success. So I would say if you do pick up this ship, I'm almost positive you're going to love it. Just you know, kind of be aware that though the guns are good and they have quick reload, they can get you in trouble. So sometimes it's better to play a little bit more conservatively. Looks like Yoshino's going to try and get shells on me here. No, he's switched. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. This was a 2,514 base XP game. I'm kind of proud of. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.